RPG for You and Me presents Neon Heat, an actual play duet podcast using the Savage Worlds system and our custom cyber fantasy setting. It's been a labor of love creating it for the past several years, and we hope you enjoy.
Previously on Neon Heat, Athena and Bolt crash through the fog-filled city to the safety of the Spire, taking a red-eyed prisoner and leaving bodies in their wake. Proctor Reitz and Delegate Rasmus deploy Athena to the giant fans to ensure they blow the toxic mist away from the city. Athena leaps off the Spire in pursuit of a fleeing traitor.
Athena, as you swan dive off into the night, I would like to grant you conviction.
Oh, for what?
I think a combination of just the entire last episode, like you managed to...
So very brave.
You managed to make it from the Lotus back to safety without anything too catastrophically bad happening. I also liked... You surprised me because I did not expect you to go back for Lepaco. So I expected Athena to jump off and chase that other person, so because Athena would know that she was, like, abandoning a possible lead to go help this person she doesn't like, I'm treating that as partway between a great victory and a great failure.
Well,
so
thank you.
Either way, I think you played to Athena's convictions, let's say.
Well, here's the thing. Athena would never leave behind a person, even if she doesn't like them. You know, they're on the same team, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, this would be a perfect place to kill her, though.
Probably would have been. And you did just see him fighting against these other people.
Guess we'll find out.
So we open on the shot of Athena diving. Do you just jump off, or are you doing a running leap?
In order to get to the western wall, she needs to take a running leap to get her momentum up to speed.
Mm-hmm. So one thing we haven't really hashed out the particulars of, and I'm not particularly interested in doing it right now, is how tall the spire is. It does... connect with the ceiling of the cavern. It's the tallest structure in Caldonics, and how, wide the city is. So basically how far it is from the spire to the western wall, and how high up in the air you are, because based on how fast you're going to go in a wingsuit, I thought about this before. It seems highly unlikely that you would not be able to reach the western wall.
Right.
So I think
we did talk about this in the car one time.
Okay.
And we thought that we would just tone down the...
Speed?
The speed. Because it's probably not safe to be rocketing around a city with buildings at that speed, so maybe there's something built into the wingsuits that dampens speed while keeping the trajectory, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. As far as...
Maybe it's the Corey webbing.
Yeah, as far as the buildings between the spire and the western wall, because the spire is the tallest building, and you're jumping off, the tallest possible point that you can from there, you're probably gonna go over a lot of buildings before they start becoming a problem. So, I don't know how far you would make it before, the buildings start becoming an issue. So the air up here is cleaner, but you can still smell the smoke. Well, you have the ventilator on, so I guess...
Some rebreathers.
So maybe you don't smell anything at all.
Yeah.
I guess so the air is clear. It looks dirty, but it smells clear to you. But there is still that strange crystalline clarity. Something in the air that even through the rebreather you can still detect.
This is something's wrong.
Okay, so I would like you to first make me a notice at -8.
-8,
-8.
you say?
This is just to start everything out. -8.
Oh, boy. Well, how's about... That puts me at a -5.
Okay, that's fine. And then I would like you to make me a piloting roll.
Bad. -3.
And did you make your piloting roll?
I did. I'm going to need to Benny it.
Okay.
Wasn't very good.
Go ahead. Just to remind you, like, if you fail your piloting roll, that doesn't mean you plummet out of the sky to your death or anything.
I didn't know that.
If you don't want to re-roll, it's fine.
I don't really want to.
So here's the thing. Here is how I'm choosing to treat this right now. So piloting is your ability to deftly and accurately maneuver yourself while you're using your wingsuit, right? So Athena clearly knows how to use a wingsuit.
Yeah.
So it's not as though every time you're going to jump out and then if you fail a roll, you're just going to plummet and die instantly.
Right.
I don't think that's dramatically interesting. I don't think that's dramatically... It doesn't seem very realistic to me that you would only have that, like, one chance to not do it. So what that says to me more is that you're having trouble maneuvering in the air, trying to do what it is you're doing. So
maybe
it could
it's
mean...
it's so foggy.
Could be because it's so foggy. It could be because everything happening around you. It just means that you haven't made progress towards what you're trying to do. So maybe you didn't go as far as you wanted to. Maybe it'll take you longer.
Maybe I lost altitude quicker than I wanted.
Maybe. So we'll see. So this situation is going to be partly a dramatic task.
Okay.
It's a couple things rolled into one, and I'm not going to fully explain it
That's
as we're going. So I'll keep track of everything. You're good.
Well, good thing I've already failed 2 things.
Yes. Okay, Athena, this time I would like you to roll me notice at -2.
Okay. Hot damn. That's a 10.
That's a 10. That's a success with a raise. You're gliding through the air and you're trying to orient yourself to go, straight to where you know the maintenance deck to be. High along the western wall, right along the tracks of the highway, the rail line that runs past the upper city. The tracks are up and there is some fancy dining and entertainment sort of along the wall, far to the north, which is not really your destination. I think you're looking for this stretch more than anything.
Right.
You're doing your best to orient yourself in that direction, and as you're struggling to, maintain your altitude and straighten yourself, there's a flash of panic that sweeps through you.
Oh,
and
no.
Your muscle memory kicks in, and there's a concussive sound far in the distance that sounds like a whisper at first, followed by a hiss. You feel something coming towards you on your left side,
Shit.
and your body is telling you to move. What do you do?
I would move.
How do you move? What are you doing?
Corkscrewing away.
Corkscrewing away.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so make me another piloting roll.
You can redeem yourselves. I know it. Ha! 10.
10 is a success with a raise. Very nice. Okay. So with that, there's this, it's a concussion in the distance that starts as something softer, and then the sound reverberates out, and as this bullet whizzes past your head, you spiral out just as this thing tears through the air past you, and it creates this little sonic boom.
Oh, jeez.
And as you're corkscrewing, I think you get just the briefest flash of color behind you, that Lepaco is also following. With your very high danger sense, I think you can pretty directly follow, like, the trajectory of where you think the bullet came from, and it is where you're currently going.
Okay, I maybe don't want to go right there then.
So where you're flying right now, your altitude is still high enough that you're over most of the buildings.
Okay.
And you are... So basically what we're going to do right here is dramatic task / combat, where you are moving to here from the spire, and you're going to have to tell me what you're doing. If you continue piloting, if you're evasive maneuvering, if you're... What are you doing?
Athena has a new plan.
Okay.
Athena is not going to aim for the maintenance dock anymore. She's going to aim for the fan blades.
The fan blades?
Because if you recall, she has these mag boots.
Oh, she does.
So maybe that'd be pretty cool.
Okay. Well, you're still heading in, like, the general direction.
Yep.
I don't think that changes where you're going very much. It basically just means you're aiming a little bit lower.
Yeah.
I think that's really a much easier target for you to hit.
Probably. It's very big.
Yeah. How many fans are there? We're talking like 5 or 6 just fucking enormous fans?
That's what I assumed.
Okay.
Just real big.
Real honkin' big?
Real chonkin' fans.
These are our thick boys. Are you just trying to get there as quickly as possible?
Yes.
Okay. So you're just
a quick target
straight shotting towards the thing?
Probably tougher to hit than a slightly slower maneuvery target. Or is that easier to track? Athena would know.
Make me a smarts roll.
It's a 3.
Both of these strategies seem sound.
Excellent. She's going to go very fast. Yep, just...
Okay, I like it.
I feel like her arms are basically right at her sides, just trying to be a little bullet
I like it.
Just
Okay.
getting there real quick.
Okay, then for your turn, I would like you to make me another piloting roll. This time you can take a +2. If you're just literally doing the straightest shot you possibly can.
7.
7's a success.
I think maybe she does a corkscrew to gain speed, but while she's in it, she clicks her feet together to activate her boots.
Oh, nice. Doing a Dorothy.
Yeah, well, she can't reach him with her hands.
Not with that attitude.
Probably
They
mess
call
up
me
her.
Athena long fingers because I got some long ass fingers.
That's profoundly upsetting.
You do a corkscrew and smack your arms to your side and just shoot towards that fan like a bullet. There is another concussion from the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how we do this time.
Okay.
The concussion sounds in the distance again, and you don't have quite that same flash of insight, because I think Danger Sense really only helps you right at the start.
First time, yeah.
Or to
Tip you off to something bad
hidden
happening.
threats, things like that, yes. This time, this missed you by 1, by the way. So the bullet zooms past you, and I think this time it tears some of the material. It just shreds part of your suit, just misses you by a hair. But you're picking up speed, and you're getting closer. So every round we do this, I'm just going to count it as covering distance. I'm not going to treat it as one round this many feet. I think I'm just going to say it's dependent on your successes. How many successes you get is how fast you get there.
Makes sense to me.
Lepaco is behind you. Are you still just straight shotting?
How close is she to the wall?
At this point, based on how fast you've gone, I'd say you're probably only like here.
Oh,
you're
God.
maybe a quarter of the way. You have 1 success so far.
Yeah, that sounds right. She's gonna go real fast.
All right, go ahead. +2 still.
7.
7 again. 7's
Yes.
1 success. At this point, Athena, you know that you are risking a lot by basically flying in a straight line towards a sniper. This is a ballistic rifle, by the way.
Yeah,
This
it
is
seemed
a
like
heavy
it.
caliber ballistic rifle. You've seen these on the
definitely
surface.
seemed-
These things can punch a hole in a vehicle. Like this is a heavy duty rifle that under no circumstances should have made its way to Caldonics.
But it did.
This is the kind of shit that if that bullet hits the wrong thing,
It's just gonna fuck everything up.
it could make something explode very easily.
Could make Athena explode very easily.
Yup, it could.
Well,
In flying in a straight line with that bullet, grazing you even closer, I think, Athena, you realize that you are making yourself a sitting duck in doing this. You're getting there faster, but you're making it easier for them to hit you too. So
Yep.
This is me telling you that they are getting bonuses to attack you based on that. Okay, here we go. That's an 8.
oh, that's not good at all.
That is going to be a hit.
Okay.
Yeah, they rolled an 8. Basically, there's modifiers for how fast you're going. There's modifiers for how far away you are, if you have any kind of obscurement, and if they're aiming or things like that. Based on all of those modifiers, they're currently at -4, and they rolled an 8.
Okay.
So here we go. 7 damage.
Well, my toughness is 6.
Oh boy, okay, wow. So this rifle does 2d10 damage, so that was a good roll for Athena.
Yep.
That was a good roll for Athena. Okay, so you're shaken.
Yeah. Would I be able to unshake?
Yeah, it is your turn, so let's go ahead and have you roll to unshake. Now this is it's a combat, sort of like a reverse chase dramatic task thing.
It's very
so-
interesting. I
so
like this a lot.
I'm just sort of like Frankensteining Savage Worlds together in a
Hey.
weird pile.
I'm having a great time.
Well, we'll see.
11 to unshake.
You have unshaken.
Fantastic.
So this time, Athena, the shot rings out again, and I think at this point you've drifted down enough. You've gone down enough and far enough across that you're starting. More of that fog and mist is starting to flow up, and this time the bullet tears through the mist and just makes this like perfect little circle, and then the sonic boom follows it and makes this spiral
So
of fog
cool.
that just twists past you. And this one again pings off your armor and tears a little hole in it. You feel the impact of this, and it rocks you in midair. You manage to straighten yourself on your path. What would you like to do?
I'd like to cast invisibility,
Oh shit.
if I could,
Okay, go ahead and cast.
so maybe make it a little harder to see.
It would make it a lot harder to see.
14.
Wow, that's a success with a raise.
So,
you go
as
very
a-
invisible.
There's a fun fact. When I get a raise with invisibility, it's a -6 for all rolls to notice
Yep,
me.
that sounds right.
So,
Oh good, she's shooting, you're not noticing.
that seems legit.
Why not? I'm just goofing.
And hopefully hopefully I only need to keep that boy up for a minute.
And what does that look like?
Okay, so I think since she doesn't have access to her pocket sand right now.
God, I love that.
It's so good.
I love that.
I want to give every character some form of pocket sand. They all deserve it. So I think instead of her usual pocket dust, her one bracer dissolves and just corkscrews around her, corkscrewing and spirals around her real fast, and she just is gone.
Oh no.
Where'd she go? That means I'll shoot at Lepaco more.
It's probably true. Actually.
You can take this conviction back.
Oh God.
For my betrayal.
Jesus.
It was a ruse.
All right, so because you are not, spending your action trying to go faster, I think I'm going to use chase rules, and that, you still get to make a roll to see how fast you advance here.
Okay.
So piloting, no bonus, just piloting.
5.
5 is a success. You get winged one time and you cast your invisibility and you feel it take effect and disappear from sight. Maybe as you poof through one of these clouds of fog, you come out, you're gone on the other side, and we just see Lepaco flying through after you. And Athena, from this distance, you can tell. It's hard to tell sometimes with the fans because some of them move pretty slowly. They are not moving right now.
Okay.
You're flying towards them. They're just not in operation
They
currently.
just turned them off, those bastards.
Who's to say?
That's why this is so muggy.
Oh, this muggy November weather gives
Give
me the horribles. At the start of the next round, you are invisible.
Nice.
And you've gotten a little bit closer, so you are 3 out of 5 successes. You're getting pretty close.
Okay.
At this point, make me a notice at -2. Had some good zest on it.
6.
6, okay. So success, you can see where the shooter is.
Oh,
So there, let's say you're going straight over this line and you're like here. The shooters, they're basically mounted on the platform near the tracks that is right in front of the normal maintenance entry area. So you can't see too much specific, but you can see somebody who's sort of like lying down facing your direction. So you can surmise that that's probably them. Athena is gone. Yeah, I think they're probably just going to shoot at Lepaco.
Well, what are you gonna do?
You guys are closer, and I'm not rolling individually for Lepaco. He's just been following you up to this point. So
I figured.
In terms of how far away he is,
I really like the webbing, the Corey webbing for his fly with his extra legs.
Oh yeah, his
I think that's very cool.
Yeah, so his yar legs are extended out with the webbing between each tine of his.
Probably makes him an easy target with all the glowing.
Oh, it does. He will not get the obscurement bonus from the fog now that you guys are in the fog.
Well.
All right, this is a -2. Oh, that's a 1 and a 2.
Oh.
So you hear another shot echo out. Well, Lepaco's kind of behind you, so I guess you don't see anything, but you don't hear anything either.
He could probably follow my trail though, like as I'm cutting through the fog,
I do know. I'm gonna roll to see if he has the wherewithal to do that. That's a 2 and a 3. I'm treating Lepaco as a wild card, which means he has 2 bennies. I'm going to allow you to choose when and how to use his bennies.
Excellent.
As your temporary companion here. So if you would like him to benny that, he will. Otherwise, he does not know exactly where you are.
Yeah, Benny that one.
Okay. It's an 11.
Benny well spent.
So yeah, I think with a roll that high, I think he will be able to follow your trail until you get there. So
Okay,
I don't think he's going to lose your thread.
Nice.
Even with a -6, he'd be able to see you.
Oh.
He rolled an 11. He's,
He's just
got
see
a
me.
beat on you. You'll never escape me for there.
God, a shiver runs down her spine.
All right, so we're going into round 5. You have 3 out of your 5 successes.
Okay, I would like another one. Let's see.
Are you just doing a straight shot? You're invisible right now.
I'm invisible, so I feel like it would be most advantageous for me to keep taking advantage of that. Bad. I would like to Benny that.
Did you add your +2 for going fast?
Ah, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today, Athena is the victor. Yes.
What's fun is that I was about to say my head canon, but this is our thing,
is our
so
canon.
it's literally just canon. I think Athena's bad at math too.
And Lepaco is following you through the mists. All right, this close. This is the best shot they're gonna have.
Oh boy.
Right, this is at no penalty and no bonus. Let's see how Lepaco does. It's a 2 and a 3. Not good enough. I'm gonna spend a Benny on that.
Your GM Benny.
Yeah. 5. Okay, so that's a success.
Oh.
7 and a 1 is 8.
What's his deal?
I think he's got average toughness, so he's probably got a D6 vigor. He doesn't have a wingsuit, so I think he does have like the better
Yeah, he
armor.
probably
He doesn't
would.
need a wingsuit, so plus 4.
So plus 4 for
Plus-
the regulator.
The wingsuit one is
regular
plus.
regulator.
Yeah, the wingsuit is plus 2,
Plus
right?
2,
I
yep.
think standard armor is plus 4. That's what I decided. The thing about sci-fi settings, if we're going off of like the sci-fi companion, what's in the book, it's usually inflated numbers. And part of the creed of Savage Worlds is don't overcomplicate things unless you have to.
Yeah.
So in a setting where for sci-fi, having those higher numbers is sort of like a bar to measure it against other settings. But if within the setting, we don't need to compare it to all that other stuff.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if it's like super duper high numbers, it could still just be really good. So it's my ramble. All right, so that means that his overall toughness with his armor is 9. This does have, I think, 4 or 5 points of armor piercing, so I will not count that.
Jeez.
But that just means he's shaken. So
Okay.
8 damage over 5 toughness. You hear that? I think it pings off of the energy on his wing,
Oh,
his
neat.
makeshift wings right now, and spirals him around, but he, just like you, manages to corkscrew and follow behind you.
Apparently he's a pro.
Maybe. Athena, what are you gonna do? You are almost there. You can see the fan.
Oh, going
Looming,
fast.
yeah.
Well, actually, she doesn't want to go too fast because she doesn't want to clang on the fan blade too loud
Okay,
to tip off the sniper.
gotcha.
Or she could just fly right through him.
She could. I don't think Athena has any reason to know exactly what the internal layout is. I don't
Right.
think there was time to do that research. I don't think you've ever been here before.
No.
So at the very least, you would have like a rudimentary knowledge. If you want, go ahead and roll common knowledge at -4, because it's not really common knowledge, but that's what we're going to use for it.
0.
Okay, so you maybe have an like this is a fan and it moves really slowly, so you can fly into it if you want, but you're reasonably sure that you're not going to like fly in and get chopped to pieces because it's just the giant fan blade. That's all.
Right.
So aside from that, you're not sure what to expect.
I think.
But I think you would know. I'm not gonna make you roll to know this. You're far enough away, so we're still requiring 1 success to get there. Means if you do it this turn, you'll get there. If you don't do it this turn, you'll get there next turn. So you're far enough away that you might make it, you might not make it. If you're trying to dampen the sound, that's gonna cost you something. That's
I know
gonna
what
mean
I
you
wanna
have to
do.
slow down. So.
I know what I want to do.
Okay.
I want to keep going towards the guy laying down,
Mhm.
and I want to stomp him.
Excellent.
I'm just gonna go real fast
That's
into
okay.
him.
All right. You're trying to like tackle this person, basically.
Oh, so what she's gonna attempt to do
Uh-huh.
is do a somersault in midair to slow herself down and like have her wings go out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay.
And then so feet first, just like maybe right into his face.
fuck. That's so cool.
That's what she's trying
That's
to do.
awesome. Okay.
Godspeed, Athena.
Okay, so for
I guess
this,
we'll see if it works.
So for this, make me a piloting roll. So this is actually, I don't know if I want to make you multi-action on this or not, but because you're still 1 away, I think you do need to because you have to close that distance.
Right. So piloting
So it's going to be
first.
piloting. You're not going super fast. Then it'll be at -2. If you are going super fast, it'll wash because you're multi-actioning.
Okay.
And the second action is going to be probably just fighting,
Okay.
trying to attack them.
So first one is just a wash.
First one is a wash. It's a neutral piloting roll to see if you can close it.
I'm gonna roll my piloting.
Godspeed. Oh, also, I'm going to give you a Benny because this is just a really fucking cool idea, and I
Yeah?
hope it works.
Oh, me too. Well, I got an 8.
Oh, that's the success of the raise. So okay. So with a raise, that means you not only got there, but you got there real fast. But because you don't need any additional speed, I think that means you perfectly pulled off your maneuver for wanting to slow things down. And I'm gonna say it negates the multi-action penalty.
Oh,
so just
cool.
do the fighting roll, and if you hit with this, I'll give you some nice bonus damage because you're literally
Okay.
just smashing into somebody.
At
Like,
a high velocity.
yeah, the
at
velo-
a bolt speed.
all right, before you roll,
I hoped his body would cushion her fall.
God. Okay.
Gets a bone right through her leg.
So you're also still invisible.
Yeah.
So
Whatever you want to do is.
no, I'm just trying to think of the logistics of how this is going to work because they're currently prone, like with a sniper rifle, so they're lying on the ground, which is going to make it harder for you to accurately hit them unless they were to stand up or something. If they stood
doubt
up,
they would.
right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll to see if they notice you flying at them, because if they see you flying at them, they're probably going to try to stand up and beat it. So let's see here.
So that's at a -6.
No, they do not notice you. So they are still prone. Are you trying to come at them from the front, or are you trying to like go down on top of them?
Oh, from the front.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. You got a raise on your piloting roll, which means you got here and you did what you wanted to, so I think you've accurately reduced your speed to the point that it'll help you and maybe not hurt you that much. So go ahead and roll your fighting, and I'll arbitrate from there.
5.
5, okay. I think given that they are prone on the ground, that is going to be sufficient. So go ahead and roll. It's an unarmed attack if you're just hitting them.
With my metal boots.
Ooh, okay.
Actually, I don't know how much Athena weighs, because she's 6 foot. She's a pole, but I figure she has to have a little bit of muscle to her.
With her being taller, and she's got a little bit of muscle, but not super muscly, she's probably between 150 and 170.
Okay.
Whatever you want her to be there. It's an unarmed attack. It's a steel boot. I'm cool. I'll give you a d4 for the steel boot. So it's going to be your strength plus 1d4. I'm going to give you a bonus d6 just because of the velocity at which you're coming. d6, d6, d4, I guess?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Woof! I'm Bennying it.
Oh, man.
Could hardly have been worse.
Yeah.
But thank you for that, Benny.
Yeah.
Redeem yourselves. 10.
10 damage?
10 damage.
Yeah, it's definitely going to... let me write that one down. That will cause 1 wound, which I am not going to soak because I think it's more interesting this way.
Cool.
Yeah, so you fly in, you do this flip kick.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to describe your kick again?
So she's got her arms by her sides, and then she does a tumble in the air, a little somersault, and extends her arms outwards to make the wings catch more and to slow her down.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like a diagonal straight line of woman into this person's face with her metal boots, like making contact first.
I'm imagining on this catwalk type thing, so the door is behind them and the tracks are in front of them. So it's sort of like a side alcove that you could use to get off into the maintenance area.
Makes sense to me.
And I think they were posted there. I said they were prone, and I think that's okay, but maybe at this point they've gotten up onto one knee and their rifle is perched on top of maybe a box or something that's just there. So you just fly in straight and...
Ooh, can the box explode?
Oh, you kick through the box and it just lessens the blow a little bit, but splinters go flying in every direction and you hear this crunch as you hit them in the chest, and you can't hear anything, but they do fly backwards. Their feet leave the ground and they smash into the wall behind them.
Good.
And then fall down onto one knee and catch themselves. And Lepaco comes in hot behind you and he lands...
There's no way he didn't see that.
No, he definitely saw that. You're still invisible though.
Yep.
So he saw you this whole time, so he lands nearby, and what is he gonna do?
Can't escape me, Deirdre.
Lepaco lands basically right beside where you were, and he puts his Yara legs up. They still have that energy film between them, and they go up and out and sort of spread out, sort of like a peacock, I guess. And he says, "Cover your eyes, Sedaris."
Does she does.
There are just these pops and flashes of light from like the netting, the webbing aimed at this other person, and it's just like a concussive, kind of like a flashbang. It's just, there's sound and light, and but it's focused on this one person. And he casts Stun.
Cool.
And that person needs to make a vigor roll at -2 with a raise. And they fail, so they are stunned.
You know what I just realized?
No.
How good Athena and Lepaco would be a good cop, bad cop.
Oh my god.
Right?
Stunned characters are distracted as long as they're stunned, so they get -2. They fall prone or to their knees, so already on their knees right now. They can't move or take any actions. They don't count towards the gang up bonus, and they're subject to the drop. And at the start of their turn, they make a vigor roll. Success means they're no longer stunned, but distracted and vulnerable. And this is where we're going to draw initiative.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Athena, 6 of clubs. Lepaco, ace of clubs.
Amazing.
Stunned person. 7 of hearts.
Well, what are you gonna do?
So Lepaco, he takes a couple of steps forward and sort of to the side of the person, but does not advance on them, and he's going to hold his action.
Okay.
He says, "Well, it's your show, Sedaris." And belay his action, and then it is their turn, so they need to make some vigor roll. Alright, so they got a 4, a success on their vigor roll, which means they are no longer stunned, but they remain distracted and vulnerable. So they still get -2 to what they do, they still have +2 against them, but they're no longer subject to the drop, and they're aware of what's going on.
Okay.
Which means they can also act. Oh, they did unshake. Okay.
Oh, they did unshake?
They did, yes,
oh,
okay,
good. Oh, good.
You know, Lepaco's kind of taking his time, just like walks over there. This person shakes their head, looks up and sees both of you, shoves themselves to their feet, and pulls out a submachine gun.
Seems right.
Slung over their shoulder, just spins it around. And you were the one that hit them. They didn't see you coming. They see Lepaco there. Lepaco just stunned them. So I think this is just going to be a
shooting.
Yeah, I think I think they're just going to empty the clip like in the area because they know that you're here too, right? Like they saw Lepaco flying, and then they got hit by something. So they know that Lepaco was not the one that was hitting them, and they saw you disappear. So they know you're here somewhere, maybe, but they don't know where you are. So here we go. Finally get to use all these D10s. Okay. 1 at you and 2 at Lepaco. What's your toughness again?
6.
So the first one was a 17.
Oh my god!
Okay, so the way that rapid fire weapons work, like automatic weapons. So weapons are categorized by their rate of fire. This is a submachine gun, which has a rate of fire of 3. When you fire a weapon that has a rate of fire greater than 1, basically you add a shooting die for each additional increment of rate of fire.
Oh my
so it says rate of fire 3. When it would normally roll, it would roll the shooting die, in this case a d10, plus the wild die.
Right.
Add another one, you're rolling 2d10 and the wild die. Add another one, and you're rolling 3d10 and the wild die. So there's more than 3 bullets being shot, but it's effectively 3 different attacks off of 1 action. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I did just forget that with the rate of fire increase, you get a penalty of -2 to the attack, but the good news is that was the attack, not the damage. So the only bullet that actually hit was you. So the other 2 ping off of Lepaco, but one of them does somehow find its way to hit you.
You know what? Sure.
So SMG damage is 2d6, with a raise it's 3d6. So this is... Here we go. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, Pickle, don't keep rolling that.
That's 15 damage. There is no armor piercing, so whatever your total toughness is counts here.
6.
6 is your total toughness. Oof. So that's gonna be 2 wounds.
Yep.
Would you like to try to soak?
Yes, I would.
Okay. How many bennies do you get?
3, and, well, 2 now.
That's still pretty good.
That's just a vigor roll, right?
It is just a vigor roll.
Good. 8.
That's a success with a raise, which means you negate all of that damage.
Yes!
That's awesome.
It's
okay.
all coming up Athena.
It's going pretty well so far.
It's going
all things
okay.
considered. That was a huge hit off of a rando attack that shouldn't have hit you in the first
Should
place.
not have.
At a -6 penalty.
But here we are.
Or -8 penalty.
What if it pings off of her circlet?
I like that.
Because it would have been devastating otherwise.
Yeah, so this person pulls the SMG around on the shoulder strap and levels it down and just holds the trigger and starts to fan it out just in a little cone in front of them. The muzzle flashes are bright with every shot. You can hear the ballistics echoing around the cave around you. One of them pings off of your metal circlet. And do you not have a mask on right now? Or do you not have a helmet or anything?
When she's doing the wingsuit stuff, she has goggles.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
That's all that the wingsuits come equipped with. Besides, I mean, she has a respirator on too, I guess.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
technically, it would look like a full mask, but it doesn't quite
But
reach
it's
the
2 separate
circlet.
pieces. Yeah, I got that. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, one of them ricochets off of your circlet, throwing you completely off guard, and you look over as they're spraying these bullets. Lepaco just has his claw-like mandibles shielding him, and it's just sparks are being thrown off of the energy as the bullets bounce, and they are going to try to run to the door leading inside. So I think their movement will get them there, and their free interaction will throw the door open, but they won't really be able to go inside.
Gotcha.
As they're sort of like firing at you as they go.
I would like to use my adventure card. It's called Surprise.
Surprise?
Hey, how'd you do that? That's what it says. Pay a Benny to search through the remaining adventure deck and take any one card of your choice. So I'm gonna pay a Benny.
That's effectively the best card you can get.
It's real good.
Because that's pretty awesome. Enjoy.
Well, I picked out a card. It's a good one.
I guess you don't need to tell me what it is.
I don't. Okay,
All right, so it is now Athena's turn, and you have your new adventure card.
I do, yes.
All right.
I have my 2 adventure cards and 1 Benny. Let's see how it goes. I think she is just gonna cast a bolt at him
Okay.
as he's fleeing in the door. 5.
5 is a success. Go ahead and roll damage. 2d6.
8.
8 is enough to shake them, but they will not take a wound.
She's gonna run forward and try to follow him.
You can basically put yourself right next to them. What kind of a bolt are you shooting at them?
Lightning.
So as they're backing away, I imagine they wrench the door open just as you're shooting this bolt at them, and it hits squarely on the metal of the door, but just goes right past them.
What are you gonna do?
Or maybe some of the lightning hits them in the shoulder and just ripples over their shoulder into the door.
That'll do.
Kind of shrug it off. So they are shaken. Let's go to the next round. Athena, 4 of clubs.
Oh boy.
Opaco, 2 of diamonds. That person, 9 of spades.
Fuck. Okay.
And you are still invisible.
Mm-hmm.
How long ago did you cast that?
I don't know how long it took me to fly.
Oh, I was kind of treating it as like 1 round each. It wasn't a 1-to-1 on combat, so...
It was like 3 rounds ago, I guess?
I think at this point, if you want to maintain it, you're going to have to start paying power points.
I'll turn it off.
You're going to let it go?
Yeah, I think all the metal comes back from going around her right back onto her wrist. Athena's going to recall her bracer dust directly into a shield.
So maybe that's happening while you're shooting the bolt. So you just
I think that's what
kind of
distracts her, maybe.
rematerialize. Yeah. So now you're right in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
They've unshaken.
Surprise, surprise.
They can't shoot you in melee with the SMG because it's too big of a gun.
Okay.
But so from where you're standing right here, you can see inside, and it is just a dark hallway with like a single low light fixture in the middle.
Gotcha.
And it goes straight back, and you can't really see anything else because you don't have any kind of dark vision. They're gonna continue moving deeper into the tunnel, which is going to provoke a free attack, an opportunity attack.
Well, I would love to... I do have my shield out. I'd love to just whack this person with it.
Okay.
As an opportunity attack.
Sure.
That's a 17 to hit.
That will be a hit with a raise, believe it or not.
And so the damage for a shield...
It's 1d4. So it's going to be your strength plus 1d4 plus 1d6 for your raise.
So strength plus...
And this is like a normal size shield?
Yeah, just a medium shield.
Alright, so plus 2 to your parrying while you have it.
21 damage.
Holy shit. 21 damage?
Yep.
Oh my god, they're already at 1 wound. Their toughness is 6 because they're also in a wingsuit, so... You said 21?
21.
Okay, so the threshold was 18 was 3 wounds. They have 1 wound, so this will knock them out if they can't soak, which they will try to soak.
Yeah.
So here goes... Oh, they have a -1. That doesn't work. Here's your last penny. Oh, they got a 5. 5 minus 1 is 4, so that's 1 success, which means they take 2 wounds, which means they're at 3 wounds, and they're standing, so...
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. So what does this look like?
I think she does a twirl around the open door and cracks into their center mass and gets some ribs.
Ooh.
Just with a crunch.
Oh, yeah, there's just this sickening crunch as you hit them. Maybe you splinter part of their arm that's holding the SMG and they stumble backwards through the door as they're moving away from you. Not nearly as smooth as they intended it to be. They do level the SMG directly at you in the doorway and just open fire.
I do have my shield up.
You do,
which is -2 cover.
So what's going to happen now is this person is going to multi-action, but they're going to use both of their actions to open fire at their full rate of fire.
Okay.
So this is
with their wound penalties
as well. So the rate of fire, like the recoil from rate of fire, adds -2 penalty to every shot in that burst. That's 1 action. So then there's going to be a second action that does that. So the recoil penalties don't stack together.
Okay.
But it is a multi-action, so they get further -2. So basically, both of these salvos are already going to be at -4, and then they get their wound penalty of 3 on top of that. So every shot is going to be at -7, but they are shooting them all at you.
Yep, roll these bastards.
We're going to try this.
Roll them.
And when you roll higher rate of fire like this, you do get your wild die, and your wild die can replace one of the d10s. Well, they have a d10, but...
Okay.
So instead of rolling, like, your fighting +1, you'd be rolling 3 fightings +1, and you can use your +1 to replace any of those 3.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Alright, so salvo number 1 at -7. Ooh, that one aced. Okay, so... -4, -4, -1, and 7. So that one is going to be a hit,
Yeah,
but with no raise. Oh wait, no, I didn't apply your cover bonus of -2.
Oh.
So 5. So that one. So it's actually at -9 for all of these. Jesus. So one of them hits on that. So second salvo at -9. All right, nothing on that one. All right, so one bullet hits you with no raise. Oh, fuck! I already used all of their bennies.
You wish you had a Benny.
I do.
I wish I could give you one.
They got a 1 and a 2. So so 3 damage. So yeah. Athena, I think you have struck them so hard with that shield blow, and they stumbled back, and they're just holding the trigger and trying to keep it pointed at the door frame where you are, and the bullets are just ricocheting all around you. I think we get a point of view shot from them, like a first person point of view shot, and there's just the muzzle in front of the camera flashing and shooting at the doorway, and we see the sparks of all these pings of the bullets in the darkness around you.
I'm almost imagining she's got the shield right up to the gun about.
Yeah, they're just holding it there, and it's just pew, 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 pew. It's just bouncing off of everything as you slowly advance
so
forward.
loud.
Yo, it's
so
extremely loud. It's deafening in here. Rat-a-tat-tat. Athena, it is your turn. So you have your shield up. This person is emptying their clip at you. You can't see past them in the darkness. But it appears to be a dark hallway with one light very far down.
The ringing of the smattering of bullets dies down, and she's still behind her shield, but her eyes just peek over it, and she says, "You can tell me what I want to know, or I can just kill you right now." And I'd like to roll Intimidate.
Oh, geez. Okay, go ahead. They, with their wound penalty, got a 2.
Oh, well.
What'd you get?
3.
3, okay. Well, that's a success. Are you trying to distract them or make them vulnerable?
Vulnerable, so Lepaco can just ice him.
Okay. Are you giving him, like, that order? Have you...
I think she, like, makes a little hand sign behind her back to be like...
All right, and that's your turn?
Yep.
Are you moving Are you moving at all, or are you still just standing in the doorway?
If there's any gap between Athena and this person, she wants to close it.
So you want to be standing right in front of them?
Right, just like shield up to the barrel.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Okay, you
just
move in.
Menacingly.
Okay, so you've made a hand gesture to Lepaco behind your back. Could you show me like a come here type thing? Like move up? See, here's the thing. You guys haven't worked together before, and I don't know that there's a universal call sign for kill this fucking person.
I think maybe she flicks an eye back to him and then goes like a thumb across her neck.
Oh, geez. Okay.
I think that's pretty universal.
Yeah, no, that's pretty universal. So Lepaco will move forward and... Oh, geez. So he has failed his shooting roll. If you would like him to Benny it, he can. Otherwise, he has failed his shooting roll. Benny it? Okay. Did you Benny anything else before? No, you did Benny one.
Yes, I Bennied one, so
this
he has
is his
no
last,
Bennies.
This is his last Benny then.
Yes.
Okay. 5 is a success, and he is going to shoot once. So Lepaco, you have your shield up, and you feel Lepaco moving behind you, and his hand sort of reaches from under your shield, and you just see, a Corey pistol come out, and there's a flash of light, a burn mark appears on the person's knee. It looks like it's singed some of the material, but they're still standing. So they are shaken.
I guess that'll have to do for now.
Oh, this damn thing never fires right. You hear him go like
oh my god,
like he's hitting it or something.
Oh my god.
Piece of garbage.
Lepaco.
Next round. Athena, 8 of diamonds. Lepaco, 3 of clubs. This person, 9 of hearts. Everyone else, 10 of clubs.
Everyone else.
Yep. Okay, so you guys are now in this dark hallway. Only the faintest of light from either end. And there, one far down there, and there's the light kind of coming in behind you, otherwise it's black. And you can now hear the scuffle of noise further down the hallway as this person has been trying to back up. You can see that there are a number of dark forms moving in the hallway. And this hallway is probably... It's wide enough to stand like 2 abreast. It's not extremely spacious, but you can fit people side by side somewhat comfortably.
Okay.
You both notice them and feel the presence is moving forward much more quickly now at the same time, and there's now sort of shuffling noises, some hissing and rasping as these forms appear from the darkness. It's also worth noting the ceiling is not exceptionally high. It's probably like an 8. It's probably like a 10-foot ceiling. So looming out of the darkness directly behind the person with the gun, the form is about as tall as you, but they're much bulkier. And as they take a step forward, you can see it is a Karnak with brown-black scales, and they step in front of this person, and they bring this large metal sword up in front of them.
Oh
And just-
boy.
And they're gonna attack.
That sounds right.
What's your parry?
5.
5. That hits.
Ugh.
That's gonna be 5 damage. No armor piercing.
My toughness is 6.
Damn, you rolled really bad.
Maybe it just clashes off her shield.
This large sword comes down and you feel it scrape, the pressure pushing down on there, and there's this nasty rasping as you watch sparks start to fly off.
Oh boy.
And then you feel a presence above you as another form
Oh, nuts.
moves across the ceiling, sort
Fuck.
of over this group and down behind you, and is going for Lepaco. That is 9 to hit. That is going to be a success with a raise. 6 damage. Damn, that's not good. Okay. This other form shifts over you. You hear more clashing behind you as Lepaco lets out a gasp of, ugh!
Sure, he can deal with that.
And that is all that happens from them, and it is now the person with the gun's turn. So he is unshaken. They continue trying to move backwards, which is going to provoke another attack from you because you're
good.
standing right in front of them.
Well, I'd love to attack them. So I'm gonna roll fighting to try and brain him.
Yes.
5.
5 will hit.
Oh, really?
5 is sufficient for the parry. I think you actually get a +2 bonus when you're attacking somebody who doesn't have a melee weapon, maybe?
Oh.
Unarmed defender. It's difficult to parry a blade with one's bare hand. An attacker armed with a melee weapon adds +2 to fighting if his foe has no weapon or shield.
Oh, neat.
That's open-ended enough that it could include a gun, but I think in this circumstance, I'm going to give you the bonus just because it makes...
Guess I'd make it a 7.
Okay. Still a hit, no raise.
8 damage.
Toughness is 6, so that shakes them again.
Oh my god.
I know.
Oh. Oh
Yeah.
god.
But the good news is they can't act because they don't have any more bennies, and they already
they're
tried.
shaken.
They already tried to unshake for the turn, so they move further down the hallway. They just stumble backwards and allow the people to fill in the space for them.
All right, Athena's gonna tie this up. Hopefully, Athena is gonna cast Burst.
Very nice. You should do that.
I will.
So you're aiming it ahead of you?
Yeah, I want to get the sword Karnak and hopefully this SMG motherfucker.
Sure. Those are the 2 people that you can see. Holy shit.
Well, they're both 9s.
Okay, so it's a cast with a raise.
So that's 3d6.
3d6.
18.
Oh wow.
18 damage.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna
So
get
is this hallway metal?
metal and rock, let's say. It's carved into the mountain, so...
Because what I was thinking was maybe the burst is lightning this time, and it just arcs across and down the whole thing.
Oh, fuck, that's so cool!
It's pretty cool, right?
Okay, take a Benny for that. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
nice.
Awesome. I mean, how do you shoot it out? How are you doing this? How are you
I mean, she
bursting?
generally lightnings with a finger gun,
Mm-hmm.
so I feel like it's just a fast and dirty.
Yeah, you point your finger gun right in front of this Karnak, although I like to imagine you're looking past them at
Yeah.
the person stumbling and
I
running
think
away.
she looks dead at the Karnak and just winks at him, and then lights it all up.
Excellent. So you do that, and we get this fantastic shot of these bolts
And
rippling
it's so
through the hallway.
dark, but
just-
now it's so light and purple.
You just
And
watch the snake of lightning just slither through the hallway, bouncing off the walls, these tiny, smaller tethers of electricity just rippling as it blasts forward. And I think it blinds everyone in the hallway for a solid couple of seconds while that happens before the darkness is back. I think that fries whatever light there was, and now it's just completely black
Oh, good.
in here, so... But you sense no movement ahead of you.
excellent.
Anything else? No other actions, but anything you want to move, free action, anything
Yeah,
like that?
I'll move back towards Lepaco with my shield up to try and distract the Karnak.
Okay. So
I assume it was a Karnak because it was on the ceiling, but I don't really know.
okay.
That was Athena's mental leap there.
Sure.
Because they can walk on walls and stuff.
That's
sometimes.
true. Well, you turn around and move back towards Lepaco in this,
He's dead already.
I didn't want to be a bother. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Go on. Bless your heart. Oh, bless your... Alright, so turning back towards Lepaco, it's just a tangle of limbs. I mean,
lot of limbs.
Lepaco is gripped in a melee with this thing. Looks like another Yara, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there are just too
Lots
many.
of legs.
There's lots of legs, and because you're looking back towards the exit you came from, there is some light coming in from that side, so you can see a little bit, but otherwise, still very shrouded. You're basically just getting silhouettes.
Gotcha.
So you move back to him, and that makes it
His turn.
Lepaco's turn. I think he's gonna do something similar to what he did last time. That's a success. And roll that. They fail. Alright, puts his arms up again, and there's just another flash of light. And in that flash of light, you get a pretty good shot of this Yara just in... looks like normal clothes, but it is also wearing armor.
Huh.
And the light goes off, and it slaps its hands over its eyes, and it's just sort of... and its legs are sort of flailing everywhere, too.
Well, they do have 2 extra eyes, so it checks out.
Did we establish if they actually glow, or does it just appear that they glow?
I think
'Cause
they
they're
glow.
it's infravision.
They glow when they're using, like, Corey-related things, I think was what we landed on.
So not even everybody would have the glow, because not everybody has Corey.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, so...
I mean, a lot of times they're not even, like, open.
yeah, I figure maybe it's just like a reflective sheen when there is light.
Yeah.
It looks like they glow a little bit, but in darkness, you, like looking at him in darkness, you would not immediately know he's a Yara based on glowing eyes or anything
Right,
like
and
that.
they don't have, like, normal pupils or, like, it doesn't look like a regular eye. It's not just, like, another pair of, like, normal-looking eyes.
So that happens, and that's Lepaco's turn. Oh, I guess I actually have to deal initiative. Sitting here. Ace of spades for Athena. The Ace of spades! 5 of diamonds for Lepaco. Jack of hearts for the Yara.
Yeah, all right.
Yara, all right?
Yeah, all right.
All right. Athena, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Oh, Athena's gonna do what Athena does best.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast a bolt at this Yara and just hope I ice him. 4,
It's a success.
5.
5 damage. Okay, so he is vulnerable right now, so you get plus
Oh.
2 from Lepaco.
7.
7. He's not already shaken, so I don't think that's gonna be enough. So he is now shaken.
Okay.
A lot of shaking.
Bet he's gonna unshake.
Maybe. It's his turn. He does not. I think he'll try to use his legs to grapple up onto the ceiling and scamper away, so go ahead and opportunity attack.
Oh,
Lepaco
you know
gets
how
one
I
too.
love to do that. Oh god. Well, that was a good one. I'm just gonna keep that
That's
one
fine.
right there. 16.
That's a hit with a raise. Go ahead and roll damage. Strength plus 1d4 for the shield plus d6 for a raise.
13 damage.
That'll do it. I like the image of this guy jumping up and stabbing the ceiling with his extra legs. And I think his are spider-like, so they're longer, more spindly.
Right.
He stabs them in, and he starts to try to swing his way back further down the tunnel hall where the other people came from or were running to, and you get to clip him. So how do you dispatch this guy?
Well, if he's trying to scamper like above her, she does like a windmill, but like a vertical one where she just like cracks him right in like the. Well, she's 6 foot,
Sure.
which means her wingspan is decent.
True, she can probably almost reach the ceiling with her
Probably
shield.
can almost
so.
reach the ceiling, so I think she just caves his chest in.
Ooh, yeah, there's another just nasty crunch. You hit him with the lip, the
It
edge
sounds
of
like
the
a
shield.
gong.
Gong. Ugh. And he just
A wet gong.
there's a and the nasty squelching noise, and then he falls off the ceiling onto you as he's trying to go over you, and you've just killed him. So the body limply tumbles
Drops
on top
onto
of you.
me.
Maybe, I mean, you have your shield up, so maybe you can just sort of foist it off of you.
That sounds fine.
Flops onto the floor with a nasty wet thud.
Cool.
And that's the end of initiative. The hallway is now silent after all that kerfuffle.
I think she's catching her breath for a second, because that was a lot of fighting that just happened.
Sure. You just hear this. Lepaco ejects her, a cartridge and puts it back in and says, "These damn things are not reliable."
Did you blow in it?
I think he looks at you and he holds the gun up and just does just the smallest blow on it. Is that better for you?
Yeah, tons.
Well, good job.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you.
Can we address this elephant in the hallway?
Well, what's that?
I get the feeling that you don't like me very much, and that's cool. But we just gotta, like, be real good and work together and get these fucking fans on. Can we do that? Please?
I think he quirks an eyebrow at you and says, Yeah, I mean, I came here to support you, Sedaris. I don't know why you think I don't like you.
Oh,
Sedaris. And he pauses and looks at you, and I think he says very seriously, I have only ever done my job.
to the letter, huh?
He rumples his nose and his mustache, and you guys are still standing in the dark, so you can't really see each other very well.
I bet Athena can see his silhouette from, like, the doorway behind him.
Well, I think a valuable employee who can think for themselves and apply logic, given each individual situation, to determine the best possible outcome is ideal. And that's how I try to live my life. I think he walks past you and just further down the hallway.
Just to make sure I'm hearing you right, your job to the letter as a good employee was to give a trauma survivor an incredibly difficult time on her first day back, on the force. I mean, you gotta know someone changed my itinerary start time. I wouldn't have been late. It's my first day back. It's not a leap.
Lepaco pauses. I think he just walked past you, and then he pauses and turns around as you're speaking and surveys you, and then shakes his head a little bit and says, Sedaris, I never really took you to be the petulant type. My job is as a regulator, the same as yours is. So I didn't evaluate you as a trauma survivor. I evaluated you as a regulator candidate because my understanding was that that's what you wanted, and here you are. So you want coddling? Go find something else to do. Don't come at me for trying to do my best to make sure that our city has everything it needs to stay safe. And you look out there right now, and you'll see that that is exactly what we were preparing for. Now, whether or not we are prepared, I don't know. This is a whole mess that I didn't sign up for either. So, is this really the time or the place?
You know what? That's fair. I don't think it is.
No, I'm here to do my job.
Okay, well, let's do our job. Let's look at these bodies and see what we're dealing with as regulators.
Yeah, as regulators.
She's gonna pull out her little collapsible flashlight and look for some clues on these guys, because she's pretty sure she knows who sent them here.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Well, pretty sure.
Could you tell me specifically how you're searching them?
She wants to look for, like, the radios that the group in the warehouse had.
Okay.
She wants to see if they also have radios. She wants to see if they have... She wants to see if the one guy with the SMG and the sniper rifle looks like the one who fled the spire.
Okay, go ahead and roll me notice to search through these people.
8.
So the first thing you notice is that there is another body that was further down the hallway that you never even saw. That just got cooked in your burst. It's an Ori woman.
Gotcha. Well, what are you gonna do?
Okay, so what you can immediately determine about the situation, the 3 others, so not the one with the SMG, but the 3 others are all dressed in... There's no specific methodology to their garments. For instance, they're not all clearly Oleracorp employees or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They are all wearing armor. It looks like maybe it's older armor, and it looks like it was sort of slapped on in a hurry.
Okay.
You don't find any kind of identification on the Yara or the Karnak or the Ori. You do note that for those 3, their eyes are all... It's like they're super, super bloodshot, except there's flecks of black and red running through, and red streaks from their eyes, ears, and noses, as you have seen before. You don't find any kind of radios or any identifying items. When you go to the one with the SMG, they're dressed like a regulator. I mean, they're almost assuredly the one that you saw leap from the tower. And
what's her face look like?
You take their mask off?
Yep.
It's Nima.
No!
It's Regulator Nima.
Regulator Nima?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck!
And she has, she does not have the same red streaks as the others do.
Oh, shit.
I didn't roll to see for any kind of, like, incapacitation, so
well.
let me do that now, because I didn't. But yes, it is Regulator Nima.
God damn. She was everywhere. And by everywhere, I mean 2 places.
There's 2 places. Yeah, so Nima with her, yeah. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Give me just...
Well, Nima had that peachy skin and that lavender swoop of hair.
She did.
I remember on account of
I remember because I looked at her picture earlier today and wrote it down again. Okay. So she is going to roll Vigor with her wound penalty. That's an 11. 6, 5. Busted. Strength reduced to die type. So her strength is currently reduced. That makes sense because I'd already kind of said earlier that you busted up her arm when she was holding it. So it's Regulator Nema. She's live.
I'd love to cuff her.
Okay, you can cuff her. Perfectly fine. But yeah, actually make me a healing roll.
Untrained, you say?
I feel like anybody should be able to tell if somebody's breathing, but
11.
11. Okay, so still success with 2 raises. You can determine, I'd say with that much, you're pretty confident of her state in that she is unconscious. She's very battered, but somehow alive.
Mm-hmm.
She had the mask on, so her face is basically untouched. Her hair is okay, but her left arm is crushed at the elbow. It looks like she's sustained some damage to her sternum, just all the places you've hit her. Like she was fine before you destroyed her, basically.
Oh, good.
And her outfit is very crispy and smoldering.
You know, I'd like to cuff her to like a party-looking wall pipe, if there is any.
Sure. I think there can be some sort of fixture you can cuff her to.
Well, if she's unconscious, it's fine by me.
You know who that is, Sedaris?
Yes, I do.
Shit. It's not a good sign.
No, it's not. We gotta leave her here for a sec. How are we gonna get her back?
I mean...
We could just walk on the highway. I mean, nobody's really gonna bother us up there, but...
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, I can fly, so I can always bury her down or something.
Can you carry that much?
I mean, I could at least get her safely to the ground. It's just, I can fly myself and I can carry things.
So you can parachute her,
yeah,
more or less?
More or less, yeah. I mean, I can get her safely from here, so don't worry about that.
God, what the fuck?
This is a real mess. All right, yeah, I mean, we can cuff her here. We can go keep looking.
Yep.
I mean, Sedaris, you got her good a couple times. I think she's probably out for a while. I'm surprised she's even alive.
You know what? She does take Nema's regulator badge.
I like that. What's your reasoning?
If she's gone when we get back, they have proof that it was her, and then she doesn't have it anymore to do official type things on the sneak.
Smart. I like it.
So she takes her badge.
Well, take a Benny for that. That's smart. Yeah, smart. I'm trying to give you more bennies for good ideas.
All right. Guess we're going in.
All right, I'll follow you.
Yep.
I'm no point man.
But you have so many ways to point at people.
You. Bless your heart.
Yep. All right.
Oh, Deirdre Sedaris, look at you. Sorry, Regulator. Regulator Deirdre Sedaris.
You know what?
Make quite a team.
You can just call me Deirdre. That's fine.
Oh, dear, that's really nice. Thank you.
She hates that he called her dear. She hates that so much. But she doesn't want him to call her Athena.
Oh, God. Don't call me by my real name.
Athena whips out her flashlight once again.
Okay.
And starts at a very brisk pace down the hallway.
Okay, so at this point, with lighting being what it is, the hallway diverges in 2 directions. You can keep going straight. There is another hall that goes left, and that seems to lead down to some stairs. There is a sign on the wall that just says fans.
Okay.
Yeah, fans and an arrow. The other one says control.
Oh, well, we go to control.
Yeah, sorry. So,
she would like to stealth down the hallway.
okay, go ahead and make me a stealth roll.
Be a little sneaky. What is my stealth? D8?
Really? Shocking.
Well, I think that was actually... I had that on my original sheet, because it makes sense for topside shenanigans.
It makes sense. Yes.
13.
13. That's quite good. Okay. You creep down the hallway. The whole time, you don't hear anything else. It's silent. It goes around one bend, and then there's a door at the end of the hall. And this one has a tiny light above it as well. It's a metal door. Just looks very ordinary.
She's gonna open it very quietly.
Okay. I'll let your stealth roll for that ride. Yeah, so you turn the handle on the door, and it opens, and the door does creak. So even opening it slowly, it's just a slow...
That might be worse. Well, what are you gonna do?
And it's open. The room in here, it's all dark. You do have your flashlight. Are you going in? Are you looking around?
Just gonna look around.
Okay. So you move in. It looks like a control room. It's a large rectangular open space.
Is the air in here clear?
in here.
Yeah.
I think the air in the hallway now is pretty, like, there's a lot of gun smoke in there, so, like, the air where you just came from was not as good, but in here it doesn't smell
I think
too
she
bad.
takes off her goggles, but
Okay.
not a respirator then.
Okay. So yeah, there's a number of tables with workstations at them. There is one computer, but it appears to not be on. There is a console with just dozens of switches and buttons and different colored lights flashing in different arrangements. It's just, yeah, there's a lot happening here. The only other thing that immediately sticks out to you is that there are 3 additional bodies in this room. Still forms, not moving.
Well, she'd like to check them.
Go ahead and make me either a healing or a notice.
Notice is better.
Notice,
for me.
okay, this is going to be at a -2.
Fail.
Fail.
Failed it.
Okay. It's hard to tell exactly, what the deal is. They were all killed. Some of them have puncture wounds, cuts. Some of them appear to have been shot. It's hard to say. They look much like the people in the previous hallway that you had just fought against.
But all different kind of methods of death.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
Shot
like,
or stabbed, it looks like.
kind of like the people in the warehouse who were all dead. They all died in real different ways too.
I think with the role that you had, you can't really draw any correlation, but I mean, what you said is factual. I don't think there's anything suspicious about the method of their death so much as, like, they weren't like ritually killed. They're not marked in specific ways.
No, right.
There appears to be no significant correlation about their race or gender or anything to that effect based on what you've rolled.
Okay, gotcha. I think she just briefly glances at these bodies and assesses that they're not moving and turns her attention to hopefully something that can turn on these damn fans. You know, Lepaco Rasmus did just say we had to flip a switch. But she didn't say which one.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if she told you which one.
No, she didn't, 'cause she probably didn't know.
Well, it truly pains me to say this, but I just do not have any kind of mechanical engineering aptitude, so I don't know what we can do here.
Alright, she's gonna start looking over the panels, I guess. Is it like fan 1, fan 2, fan 3?
I think it is kind of like that. I would like you to make me a notice roll.
I'm gonna Benny that.
Okay.
Nope. This is important. Oh my god, I rolled the same fucking thing 3 times.
Oh, that's a shame. Go for it.
Last Benny. Spent 3 of them right here. Ah!
No?
All 4 of them failed!
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Athena's just so tumultuous.
So yeah, you're looking at the console in front of you, and the fans appear to be numbered themselves. There doesn't appear to be like a very clear indicator of what you need to do to fix what's going on.
There are no, like, blinking red lights.
Oh, everything's
that look-
blinking
Oh, everything's blinking.
Yeah, this whole bank is a clusterfuck of lights and things looking bad. If you thought there was a chance that this could explode, you would probably think it was about to explode. In fact, you don't know. It could explode. Who's to say?
I hate to say it, but I'm at a bit of a loss. It's not like I can just turn the fans myself.
So what do you want to do? We gonna try to muddle through it? We gonna try to find some instructions or something? We gonna leave and try to get people to come back with us?
We can't leave. The whole city's crazy. We're not gonna be able to find anybody. You got eyes? You got 4 of them. Look for something.
You can have a penny for that. That was really good. All right.
Thank you. She starts tearing apart drawers looking for instruction manuals.
How about you roll research?
Okay.
Because that's...
I do have research, actually.
You? Why
yeah.
do you have research?
I don't know.
That's fantastic. Okay.
It's good, right?
I mean,
it's exactly the same
it's
as
the
my
type of-
notices.
But here's the thing. It's the type of thing that I would expect most officers to have at least a D4 in.
You know what?
Because paperwork.
I think I increased my research when I was trying to figure out how to help Val with her stuff.
I remember that.
Never came up, but
Yeah,
she's been reading, much to her own disdain.
She doesn't like to read. She doesn't like math.
Well, here's the thing. She likes to read. She just likes to read young adult fiction.
Gotcha.
That's her favorite.
Sure, it's her escape.
Yep. 5.
And would you like to roll Lepaco's notice? It's a d6, yeah.
5.
Okay, how do you go about like looking for stuff? Are you just looking for papers everywhere, books, anything labeled instructions?
She's literally ripping drawers out of things and just upending them, looking for something that looks thick bound and like instructions.
Okay, I think you find it on maybe like the second drawer that you open, and there's just a giant maintenance procedure manual.
Ah, got it.
Yeah, and you just slam it onto the table, and I think it spits some dust off of it, and you throw it open. It looks pretty complicated. It's going to take you some time to look through it.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Lepaco, as he moves over to examine this with you, stops and does like a half turn and looks around and says, "Do you hear that?
Hear what?
Sounds like there's a skitter or a shuffling or a voice or something."
What?
I don't know. Here, just shh. And he puts a finger on your mouth. He does
right on her lips.
It's one of his legs. He
can do that.
That's
that's okay by me. She slaps it away.
Shh. And he puts a hand up to his lips. I would like you to make another notice roll, this time at +2.
6.
6, okay. Yeah, I think very, very faintly you can hear this. It sounds kind of, maybe it's like a whimpering or like a raspy breath or something like that from the other side of the room. Very faint, like maybe in the wall or...
In the wall?
You can't tell without looking a little bit further.
She looks.
Okay.
Are there lockers or something?
There's no lockers, it's just rows of desks. But as you get to the far end of the wall, there is a table with a cloth thrown over it, and whatever it is coming from there.
Athena's been in many stressful situations. To think that this is probably someone who's hiding. I think she kneels down next to the cloth and says, "It's okay. Everything's fine. Regulators here." She pokes Nima's badge in underneath it because she doesn't want to take hers off her belt.
Okay.
Because it does glow a little bit.
Sure, that's true. Make me a persuade at +2.
11.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, I think you do that, and the fabric is immediately torn away, and there is a small brown-haired Vel woman.
Okay.
She's in a jumpsuit. Looks pretty clearly like maybe she works here, and her eyes are just bug out wide. There are wet stains on her dirty cheeks, creating these clear paths, and she just has one hand up over her mouth and has torn the thing over and is just looking at you.
She puts her hands up, doesn't have her shield out anymore, but...
I think this woman just scurries forward and throws herself on you, and her arms just go around your neck, and she just starts sobbing into your shoulder.
Oh, damn. Okay, she pats her back, and it's like, "It's all right. Do you work here? What's your name?" "I'm Athena."
I think you get nothing but these dry, racking sobs from her for probably the first 15 to 30 seconds, until she calms down a little bit and is just...
She just rubs these tiny but firm circles on her back and looks over her shoulder at Lepaco.
I think Lepaco is biting his lip and just shrugs at you a little bit.
She bites her lip as well. "It's okay. You don't have to tell us what happened right now. We just need to turn the fans back on. The city is in a lot of trouble if we don't get them on. Can you help us?"
Yeah, I think she begins to pull away and is still just sort of doing like a hiccup sob, just sort of trying to steady herself as much as she can after just completely falling apart, but is...
Athena has her hands like on her biceps, holding her together, kind of is what she's trying to do.
And she is now making a very visible effort to reclaim her composure.
Take your time. It's okay.
And she does
We got a minute.
She does a couple of swallows, and then she can finally speak. "My name is Iris. I work here. Yeah."
Okay. Can you give us a hand, Iris? This is my partner, Regulator Lepaco, and we're here to help. And there's, nothing else bad's gonna happen.
I think you point over to Lepaco, and he waves a hand, and you can tell on her face that her eyes go a little bit wider, and she looks down and puts a hand up over her eyes for just a minute, and then sort of gets back to herself.
Just didn't want to surprise you, and there was another person in the room.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Okay, so the short to-do list we have is just turning all the fans on full blast, as high as they'll go. There's a lot of fog in the city, and it's laced with something that's making people very scared, and we need to blow it out over the waterfront. Can you help us with that?
And she's nodding a little bit and understanding as you're speaking, and then begins nodding more as you get to the end. She says, yeah, I can help you.
Okay.
And she pushes herself up, and she's wringing her hands, and she's a pretty small woman, very, very thin. She's got a tool belt on, I think the classic suspenders that are down, like just kind of looking a mess.
Are you a mechanic, or do you work on the switchboards, or do you do the same thing for everything? I don't know. This is honestly my first time here.
She gives you a shaky smile as she moves over towards the banks, and she says, well, honestly, I usually do maintenance on the fans themselves. I'm not usually up here. The highway it was supposed to be down tonight, so we didn't have as many people on shift just because, it's harder to get up here. So I've been up here, for the past day or so, just waiting for it to come back online.
Okay.
But yeah, I can help you. I think I can help you get it started. What do you want me to do?
We just need to turn on all the fans. Very, very, very high speed winds would be great.
Okay.
I don't know how much we can safely do on each fan, but as long as we have enough of a gust to, sweep it along the curve of the cave wall, air currents should work, right? I think so.
Yeah.
She says with a smile. She doesn't really know. This is all conjecture. It's just theories.
She steps over the bodies as I think she looks down at them and just gives a shudder as she walks towards the bank.
Eyes up. Just don't look down. It's okay.
Yeah, she purses her lips and says, yeah, sure. There's a long moment of her just standing in front of the banks before she shakes her head a little bit and starts looking around more.
I think she, over her shoulder, makes eye contact with Lepaco, get them out of the way.
It takes him a moment to pick up, but then he nods and he starts sliding them. There's just the shh.
Athena tries to talk over them. Talk over the noise. So what do you, how do you start this? What are you looking to do first?
And, she just goes, well, the main power appears to still be on. It looks like whoever came in here just threw every switch they could, and...
That's almost what we did.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a couple of minutes to figure out what needs to go where, so,
That's okay. If you want to keep talking to me, sometimes I find that talking through things out loud helps me figure out where stuff needs to go.
Yeah. And I think she does that. I think she begins to narrate her actions as she's going through and sort of says, okay, well, this is the main power, and this fan's off, so I need to turn that on, and I need to increase the turn speed velocity. And I think as she starts to do that, she gains a little bit more confidence and gets into the rhythm. It takes her probably only 3 to 4 minutes to go through and flip everything. And then she turns around and says, okay, I just need to throw this last switch, and then they should be on.
Okay, let's do that.
And she does, and she throws the switch, and there's a reverberation of energy that runs down the hall, and you can almost feel it in the air. Everything kicks up and into gear. The background noise jumps up significantly.
Okay.
And you can feel these vibrations through the walls, sort of, as the fans kick on and presumably begin doing that thing.
I think Athena puts her hands on her hips and just takes a second and breathes really deep. Athena had taken off her respirator just to talk to her.
Oh, sure,
to not
okay.
seem weird.
Sure, that makes sense. Iris says, is it over?
I think so. But we'll stay here with you if you'd like.
I don't want to stay here.
Okay, we can...
I just want to go home.
Okay. Where do you live?
She tells you.
I'll take you there myself.
Yeah, she tells you. It's somewhere in East City.
Okay.
It's just like in the center of East City, where most people live.
Do you mind if we stop at the Spire first, though?
I don't mind.
Okay.
What am I gonna do? Say no? There's, yeah, but you killed all of them?
We killed every single one of them we saw.
How many were there?
I think she counts on her fingers.
And she says
3.
There was a Yara.
Yep. There was Nori, and a Karnak. Is that it?
Of the ones that were still alive.
Oh, how many were there?
I think she pauses and looks down at the ground
Oh.
where the bodies used to be.
So those weren't, workers?
No. They came in. I was here, and then I heard noise,
Mm-hmm.
people coming, and I went out to look, and there were a couple of people, and they were coming in, but they were weird. It wasn't...
With their eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you know?
I saw them.
Okay. Yeah, they were coming in, and I didn't know what to do, so I hid, and I never seen anything like that. I mean, I opened the... And I think she takes a breath and puts a hand up to her head and maybe needs to steady herself against the wall. She says, I was standing right over there, and she points to right in front of the door, and I opened the door, and all I could see down the tunnel was just the weird glowing eyes, and I threw the door and hid, and they didn't even look for me. They didn't. They just came in, and I could hear them, but they didn't make noise, and they didn't talk, and they just were here, and they were just in the room, and it seemed like it lasted forever, like they were waiting for something, and then more people came, and they fought, and then the other people came, and they didn't talk either. They made this noise and these nasty guttural sounds, and they were hissing and spitting, and...
Was there gunfire, or was it...
And she shakes her head. She says, no, it just sounded brutal, wet, just fighting and snarling, and I didn't come back out.
That was the right decision. So, sometimes, when you're in shock, you don't realize it, but I think you've been in shock for about a day, it sounds like. So, let's just get you to a nice safe spot in the spire. The fans are going. You did your job. You saved the city. That's pretty cool, if you ask me.
Yeah. I just want to get out of here.
Yeah.
I never want to see orange again.
What now?
I never want to see the color orange again.
Oh, fuck. Not red.
What?
Weren't red eyes?
What?
Which eyes were orange?
The things that came in when I opened the door and I was looking down the hallway, and there's just these orange eyes, and isn't that what you were talking about? Also worth noting, Athena did not see any glowing eyes at all.
She just assumed.
So after you've killed these things, you notice they had the blood and all that, but there were no, like, glowing red eyes or anything.
She just assumed.
And that's on her. And that's fair.
That was just an Athena jump. Orange. Okay. She would like to look at the bodies again and just look at their eyes.
Okay.
Does it look the same as, like, the people who dripped out them in the interrogation room?
I think these have... Their eyes themselves are bloodshot in the same way that the other ones were, but they're not leaking blood from their nose or mouth.
Okay.
And you already made a notice roll, so I'm
That's
not...
fine.
At this time, I'm not going to give you anything else.
That's fine. Well, Iris, how about we get out of here?
I'd like that very much, I think.
Okay, let's do that. What is the best way to get out of here when the highway is not running? We could just walk on the highway the whole way back to the hub. That might be the easiest.
I mean, the reason I'm still here is because I didn't have a way to get down. So, how did you get here?
We flew here.
Okay, can we fly? Can we fly? Can we do that?
I think she looks over at Lepaco.
I think Lepaco's out in the tunnel, or out in the hallway, because he dragged all the bodies out there.
Right. We'll be able to get on the street, so don't worry about that.
On the street? Didn't you say the street was bad?
Well, the street was bad, but now the fans are going. But we can just walk on the highway.
I think she's looking more and more dubious as this conversation continues.
We just have to get back outside and assess the situation.
Is anybody else coming? Should I just wait here?
No, you can come with us. It's okay. I'm not leaving you here.
But you could.
I could, if that's what you want. It'll be okay. Come on.
Make a persuasion. Try to persuade her here.
5.
Yeah, she'll nod and say,
do you have any things you need to grab?
She shakes her head. I just want to go home.
Alright, let's go. I think would it be weird if she led her out by a hand? She's in shock.
Might
help.
I think if you offer her a hand, she'll smile but say, no thank you.
Okay, well, it's here if you need it. I've got 2 of them.
She smiles a little bit.
She leads her out.
Okay.
Regulator Lepaco, we are heading out. Let's take a peek at what's going on, and maybe we'll walk back on the highway. Maybe we'll drift down to the street if it's looking fine. That's all right by you.
Well, it sounds like a plan to me.
All right.
All right, so you guys walk back out into the air.
Yeah,
the night.
Is Nima still there? She better be.
Yeah, Nima's still unconscious where you cuffed her.
Good.
Are you gathering her up as well?
Yep.
Okay.
I guess in a fireman's carry for now. How much she weigh?
You can lift her.
All right.
If you're a fireman, Nima is smaller than Athena.
Okay.
She's both shorter and weighs less, and she's not carrying anything bulky beyond this weaponry that she has. Oh yeah, also she still has she has a ballistic SMG, and there is a 50 caliber sniper rifle where you had
perfect
fucking
nailed her in the face,
the bejesus out of her. That was awesome. That is one of my favorite cinematic moments from this
really
so far.
cool.
Just the
Athena's got her in a carry. What's it looking like outside?
Okay, so you guys head outside onto the platform, and you can look out. Make me a notice. And this one, let's see. I'll just apply hidden modifiers as necessary. Let's go for a normal
5.
5? Okay. You definitely get a basic lay of the land. You can look out. The fans are reverberating all around you. They're going much faster than they normally do, so I think it's creating both noise and vibration that does not normally happen.
Right.
But you look out, you can tell that the fog and the mist is beginning to get pushed out. Even only, less than 5 minutes later, it's already starting to make a difference. You can see the air currents and the way it's cycling out and being pushed out onto the waterfront. It's still early enough that you can't really get any in-depth assessment of the state of the city. You can basically see what you saw before, maybe more specifically places where certain flares were shut up.
Are there more regulators being deployed from the spire at this point?
I think you can look up and you see regulators pretty frequently jumping out. This has been going on for, at this point, and probably like an hour or 2 hours maybe. I think this deep into it, it's probably become clear to all the regulator forces on the ground that their flares were not really helping that much because you can't tell where they were coming from.
Right.
So there was probably a point where that stopped happening as much, and you just have these weird, like, multicolored patches in the fog.
That are just mixing together with
right,
it.
and are being blown out. But closest to where you are is where it's starting to thin, so you can see movement down below. Maybe a flare or two is going up from there, and regulators are flying down to help from there. So, still too early to tell. You definitely are making a difference in terms of getting the city cleaned.
Cool.
So,
yeah, we're walking back on the highway. I think Athena gave all of Nima's various armaments to Lepaco, because she probably shouldn't be carrying a lady and that many guns at once. And I guess Iris is just in tow.
that works for me.
Just praying this fucker doesn't turn back on while we're on it.
Or I like the visual of Lepaco just being saddled with
all these
guns, like this long rifle, and just, I mean, he's a squat dude, but he's got, so maybe he's holding it and he's just walking on his legs.
That's what I assumed. I mean, I don't know if this is accurate.
His Yara legs.
Yeah.
I need to do a better job of, like, re-describing characters even just a little bit, because I know who all these people are, but I imagine it could be extremely confusing for people listening.
We do have a dizzying cast of characters.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is how it actually is, but in my head, his real feet never touch the ground. In my mind, his real feet are never on the ground. He's never walked once in his life.
You know what? His feet can and do touch the ground, I think, but he probably does use his extra Yara legs to move around
he likes
speedily.
To be tall.
Sure.
He doesn't.
Okay, so you guys are on the highway walking back, and your plan is to just go. You were going northbound and then east.
We're going northbound because the track. Normally, we're going the opposite way of the way the trains run.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going up past Alair Resort, over Alair Resort, I guess, and over some canals, and then it hooks up to the hub, which is right in front of the spire, and we're just gonna hopefully exit from there.
Okay. On your way back to the spire, the whole time you guys are walking along the highway and making your way across the city, back towards the spire, your ultimate goal, you're watching the results of your work unfold. It takes you a while to walk along the highway. It's a pretty meandering path. You don't have to worry about crowds or the fog or weird streets, but it would probably take you an hour or two.
It took us an hour to walk from the Lotus to the spire.
To be fair, you didn't really walk.
Well, we ran a lot.
Yeah, so...
But we didn't hoverboard.
That's true. The fog and the mist begins to slowly get pushed away from the walls of the city, and it's being forced out over to the waterfront. It happens slowly but surely. Some of it sort of drifts further to the east over towards East City, Old City. And and there aren't fans over there in the same way that there are on this side, but things are slowly pushing out and filtering out. You can see where flares are coming up from more. There's certainly a lot of movement and still shouting and things like that, but the air begins to smell salty again rather than odd. Which is a good sign.
I bet it's like a little chillier than usual if the fans are going that fast, too.
That's a good point, yeah.
Oh, I hope Tuka's okay. She hates cold.
It's true. When you are passing by the Golden Lotus area on the highway, Athena, I would like you to make me a smarts roll with no modifiers.
5.
You're looking out over the city and just sort of surveying everything around you, and you feel your circlet begin to heat up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a little bit at first, and it catches your attention, but then it goes completely 0 to 60 from a little warm to just this like stabbing pain in the center of your head.
Oh, jeez.
It's sufficient enough to make your knees buckle, and I think you drop to one knee. And it's a flash, and it stays there, and then it's mostly gone, but your circlet is still warm, and you still are just having some aftershocks.
She would not get right back up right away. I think she's just rubbing her circlet, trying to figure out what the fuck just happened.
There's also just another wash of this anger. Just, you're looking out over the city and you see all this nasty... Turmoil's a good word for it, yeah. And you just have a wash of anger run through you, but then it's gone as soon as the piercing pain is gone, too.
I guess she gets back up.
You need a break or something?
No, my ankle gave out for a sec. I'm okay.
That's reasonable. Make me a persuade... Whatever skill you would like to use to lie. Probably persuade.
Probably
or performance,
persuade.
but I don't think you have performance. I bring that up every time, but you don't have performance.
I don't have
Persuade +2.
+2?
Plus
That's
2.
a 4.
4? Well, you got a 2 and a 1.
Cool.
Well, alright, you need a hand.
No, I kicked Nima in the face really hard, so...
Oh, you did? That was a real good kick there,
Thank you. I wasn't intending on landing there, but... you know.
Well, I was just happy I didn't lose the thread and fly completely alone into gunfire.
I wouldn't have left you alone. We're partners.
Well, from a certain point of view, you did, because you turned invisible and then started shooting at me, so...
Well...
you know, we're still alive. That's really all that matters, isn't it?
It is. Yep.
Well, let's keep going.
Yeah, onward.
All right.
I mean, did she look around at all when the stuff was happening?
I mean, you can make me a notice if you want.
Yeah, I think as she's walking away with them again, she wants to do like a surreptitious like look around when nothing's happening.
Okay.
And they might not notice.
Sure.
16.
Okay, so a 16 on a base difficulty is 4. A 4 is a success with 3 raises.
That's pretty good.
So I think you take a solid moment after this episode and look around. You're up high. I mean, this is the highway. There's no one near you. You look down on the streets, and there are people, but movement, people are just moving in and out. Nobody appears to be paying attention to you or what's going on up here. In fact, if you're walking in the middle of the track, most of the people down below probably can't directly see you. There are some buildings nearby. Some of them might have roofs about this level, but pretty solid sweep. You're reasonably sure that you're sure you haven't seen anyone. You're reasonably sure that you didn't miss anything.
Okay. I think she rubs the back of her neck, frowns just to herself, and continues.
All right, well, you guys will make your way back to the spire. Where do you hop on? I mean, I guess you can just go basically around to the hub.
Yeah, I figured at this hub you can just step right off the track basically to an empty station.
Yeah, to an empty station. Well, the trams themselves are not running, but like the hub is still open and people are still coming in from outside of it. Like the trains still run, although maybe this place is on lockdown right now.
I would assume.
So yeah, so I think maybe you guys get inside and there is a regulator presence. A couple of officers with, standard yellow regulator badges see you walking in from off the tram and rush over to you in uniform. And one of them steps forward and says, "What's your status?"
Status is we need to go see the proctor. We're fine, but we have a civilian. We need to get a statement.
Where are you coming from?
The fans.
Oh, you guys started those.
Yes.
Oh, good work.
Thank you. We hoped it was gonna work, and it seems to have.
Hey, we hope so too. It's been pretty much all quiet up here. We just had orders to shut everything down.
That's smart. Have you guys been able to see if it's calming down out there?
We haven't left our post. I mean, we can poke our heads outside, but
Right. Has anybody been trying to leave?
from here,
Yeah.
like out the city,
Yeah.
not outside, nothing out of the ordinary, I don't think. And he looks around, and the other regulars just sort of shrug and shake their heads.
Okay.
Like, yeah, the train. Well, let's say the train wasn't running today. If they had the trams down, maybe they
Yeah.
just like.
We just closed.
Yeah, it's maintenance. I mean, no trains coming in and out, but it's still a secure point. We can't have people sneaking into the city this way, so we still have to cover the exits.
Right.
But yeah, you want to go see the Proctor, probably the Spire.
Probably the Spire. Well, alright. Keep your eyes peeled.
Hey, you too.
Thanks.
And you guys can make your way out of the hub across the bridge towards the Spire. This dark pillar in the sky standing up on its spider legs. So you guys make your way back in towards the Spire. Around the Spire, there's a lot more activity. You see, it is unusual to see a lot of vehicle activity in the city as a whole, just for space reasons.
Right.
Predominantly the hover motorcycles and hoverboards, but there are, Dumbo carts and things.
Oh,
like
the
that.
hoverboards.
What?
We dropped them.
I assumed you did at some point, yeah.
We never got them back.
They never came up. So
oh, no.
That was my fault for asking what you did with them, but I assume maybe you dropped them during one of these scuffles.
There were a couple scuffles. Oh, God, Balt's gonna be so sad.
The area directly around the Spire is bustling with activity. There are a lot of citizens, normal citizens, who appear to be just flocking to the Spire for sanctuary. And there's a lot of uniformed regulators on the street running around. You can see people distributing supplies, items changing hands, a couple people pointing, barking directions, things like that. And
People selling water bottles for $10 a pop.
$10. Try 20.
Them cubes, though.
There's just a constant flow of people. When you make your way into the Spire proper, the waiting room is completely packed. There's almost no standing room. Like, there are a couple of regulators, waving people off. Somebody's shouting orders, basically saying, you can't stay here, we gotta move you, and just trying to figure out where to put all these people. A lot of worried faces. Other regulators are dragging individuals in, some of them in cuffs, some of them just grabbed around the middle. You definitely see a decent amount of people in the same garb as the protesters.
Okay.
A decent amount of these masks. You do not see any glowing eyes in this immediate area. You do see a very flustered-looking Rebexi behind the counter, dealing with about 5 different people in front of her.
She's not gonna bother Rebexi.
Okay.
Seeing the amount of hustle and bustle in the main atrium, I think she turns to Lepaco and Iris. Lepaco, can you take her down to the task force room and get her statement so we have a cohesive timeline with details and make sure she gets home safe? Iris, thank you for turning on all the fans. I truly think tonight would have been a complete disaster if you hadn't done that.
I'm just glad I could do my part.
You did.
She gives you a very tired but sincere smile, I think.
If you need anything, just send me a message directly, and I'll get it handled.
She nods, and then Lepaco says, "Yeah, sure, I can take care of this from here."
Thank you.
Sure. Good work, Deirdre.
You too, Lepaco.
And then he puts.
Oh, she takes the guns from him.
Yeah, I'll take this.
I'll take those guns.
Oh yeah. Don't go shooting them off now. I know, it's been a long day. And Iris says, I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Oh, I'm Regulator Sedaris. You can call me Athena.
Thank you, Athena. And she smiles again, and Lepaco leads her away. And you're left standing with a 50 caliber sniper rifle.
An SMG?
And an SMG, probably like a MP5.
Well, she's got all this exceedingly heavy artillery with her, and she wants to get it up to the Proctor's office just as soon as possible.
Kick the door into the sniper rifle. Proctor!
Proctor!
This is probably going to be an Athena clarification thing that Athena would know. My feeling is that bullet caliber weapons are very high grade contraband.
Oh, yeah.
They're extremely dangerous and highly regulated. So if you have them, walking around with them is obviously not a good idea.
Right.
And you would probably take them to like the quartermaster or requisitions or something for safekeeping.
Right.
So I assume they have like gun safes and shit. Unless like
I just
Athena is knowingly
yeah.
breaking that to go somewhere and make a
She
statement.
wants to take all of this extremely damning evidence in one package with a bow.
That's totally understandable.
But she's fine taking it to Rex afterwards.
That's cool. I just want to make sure you knew that, like, normal protocol.
Yeah, normal protocol would probably be to
yeah,
just dump it in the incinerator. She doesn't want to go down there.
Okay, so you are going to Reitz and Rasmus, or specifically Reitz.
I assume maybe they're both in the same place still.
So you now have all the guns and also Nima?
Yep, she's still all around my shoulders.
Okay.
Just draped like an unconscious scarf.
Then I'm gonna, like, this is a lot
It's
of
a
shit
lot of
for you
shit.
to carry. Like, a 50 cal sniper rifle is heavy stuff.
And she's only got D6 strength.
And you're using both of your arms to presumably do this, so...
I mean, I assume they were straps, maybe.
Yeah, they do, so, okay. I think with straps, here's the deal. You could probably handle the weight. It's going to be a decent amount of weight for you, but it's extremely bulky and clunky. Like, there's not a good, easy way to carry this. I also feel obligated to ask, have you emptied the rounds from these guns? Did you take the time to empty the chambers?
Athena would have had the forethought if Allie did not.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
she's
Athena's
this is what
a
she
cop.
does.
This is what she does. It's probably safe to say she made sure there were no rounds chambered and
Yeah.
removed the magazines and or put on safeties if they
Maybe
exist.
she split up the guns from the bullets and she sent them with Lepaco just in his belt pouches.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, you working your way through the spire to get to the proctor's office. I think with all this, you're gonna have to take the elevator.
Yeah. There's no way she's taking the stairs today.
Yeah. As you walk through the crowd, there are a lot of cries of surprise as people see you both, with another unconscious regulator over your shoulder and carrying this enormous fucking rifle that is very clearly a ballistic weapon.
Yep.
And not only a ballistic weapon, but a very rare ballistic weapon that one would not normally see.
Yeah. She's a bit of a spectacle today.
So I think there's a lot of... as you go through.
I think she just waves a free hand off.
Yeah.
There's nothing else she can do.
Sure. So you go to the elevator, and you are going to the proctor's office.
Yes.
You go in there, and you press the button, and there's a ding, and the doors slide closed with that, and you're standing in the quiet elevator in blessed silence for just a moment.
I don't like how you hesitated there.
I'm just trying to think if there is an appropriate role here or not. So we haven't done, like, the claustrophobia thing, and it's not one of your hindrances. I think it's just...
Well, it is now.
Is it?
Yeah, the phobia thing that we
Oh
switched in
shit,
for the
then
Vel.
fuck yeah, you gotta make a roll for this.
Yeah, I
Of course
gotta make
you
a
do.
roll for it.
Okay. Then I'm gonna ask you to make me a spirit roll. I'll say -2, because it's based on how... It's been a while since you've been
Alone and confined.
alone and confined, and you're kind of heavily laden.
6.
6 is a success. The fatigue washes over you. You don't actually have fatigue.
Yeah. I know I don't.
My flavor. Yeah, so fatigue washes over you, and in the lull between all of these frenetic things happening, I think the elevator ride takes even longer. It would have been easier if you could just keep moving, but being forced to stand still and catch your breath and do nothing but wait is a pain in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel the walls closing in on you and that tightness in your chest. And how do you push it away?
I think just grit. She's had a day and her job's not done yet.
So like
It's professionalism.
the door dings open and leads you out into another busy hallway where regulators are moving back and forth. And somebody does pause, when they pass you and say, "Oh my God, does she need help?
Nope.
Do you need help carrying anything?"
I would love a hand with these guns.
Sure, where are you going?
Proctor's office.
Cool. Okay, yeah. It's a big fucking gun.
It's a big fucking gun.
I've never even seen this before.
And you probably won't again, because
Man.
it shouldn't be here.
Yeah. It is an Ori man with light blue hair and eyes. Sort of a ruddy complexion.
Some freckles.
Some freckles,
Some
yeah.
freckles.
And he comes over and clumsily scoops the slings off of your shoulder.
Please be
and
careful with those. They're not loaded, but I'm just super nervous right now.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think he takes the liberty of walking ahead of you and sort of just waving people off, trying to clear a path to the proctor's office.
That's nice.
Yep.
She has had Nima's helmet back on this whole time
Okay.
to not cause a fuss.
Okay.
Not yet, anyway.
So you get to the door, and I guess he knocks on the door for you, and there's a pause, and then you hear the enter, and he opens the door and steps inside ahead of you and says, Delegate Proctor, I'm here with, I'm escorting someone with these things. Who are you again?
Sedaris.
Yeah, and he pauses and looks down. He read Regulator Sedaris. Yep.
She gives him a little nod and a wink and just heads on in front of him.
And he holds the guns up and I guess stands there holding one in each hand for a second before slowly putting them down by the door and then straightening back up. And it's like slow, like he's waiting for somebody to correct him or tell him where to put it. And then he just
She gives him a thumbs up with her one free hand.
And then he heads back out the way he came and closes the door behind him.
Goodbye, freckled mystery man.
His name's... Oh, hold on.
Max Blast.
I was gonna say Grips Gusher.
We were in the same place, though. That's good.
Well, my head went to Tug Speedman.
Tug Speedman is such a good goddamn name.
A good fucking terrible name.
It's a good action star name, though.
Tug Speedman. So, you are in the proctor's office. Reitz and Rasmus are both here, standing over her desk, talking to one another. Mm-hmm. And there's a large piece of paper on her desk. But they both look up as you enter. I think it's Rasmus who speaks first and says, "Well, welcome back."
Thank you. Got it done in no time at all. How much do you guys know about Regulator Nima?
Rasmus turns to Reitz and shrugs at her. And Reitz says, "A bit? Why? I see you're carrying someone there. I suppose that's not an idle question."
No, it's not. She appears to be a bit of a turncoat and was trying to kill Lepaco and I as we went to turn on the fans with these guns, ballistic guns. And I think she flops Nima unceremoniously on the floor, takes off her helmet.
Limp fish just rolls on the floor.
She's alive. Barely.
Ah.
Yes, I know there's protocol for those guns, but I wanted to bring it up here as a complete package.
I understand, yes. Rasmus is, she walks forward slowly, and Reitz comes around the other side of the desk, so they both come over to join you. And Reitz says, "Turncoat. So is this the handiwork we saw upstairs?"
Yes.
Bitch. I think she just scuff kicks the corpse. Not the corpse, she's not dead.
Right.
But yeah, I think she kicks it like a purposefully glancing blow to just jostle it.
Mm-hmm.
And then cracks her neck.
So I don't know how you want to proceed, but I know I've got some questions.
Well, we need to find out what she knows.
Mm-hmm.
And then turns to Rasmus and says, "Well, how are you feeling, delegate? Spry in your old age?"
Athena's like looking over with a wide eye.
I think Rasmus just rolls her eyes and runs her tongue across her teeth and bares her fangs just a little bit while looking down at Nima. "Well, this is one of yours, but I'm happy to sit in."
I think Athena drags over one of the chairs and kind of flops Nima onto it. So when she wakes up, she's handcuffed to something.
Sure. Okay. And then,
she's been unconscious for a long time. Probably not good for her. I don't terribly care about that, though. She shrugs.
So you put her there, and I think Reitz turns back to you and she says, "You said she attacked you and Regulator Lepaco.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a chance to question her before?"
No, she's been unconscious the entire time. Since she scratches her neck.
"Well, let's see what she has to say. I suppose we need to wait for her to wake up."
Could Athena send a little bit of electricity through her?
I like that idea. I think that's fun.
Non-lethally.
Non-lethally. Sure, you know what? Go ahead and make me an arcane skill roll. So your essence die. Just make me an essence roll.
5.
Yeah, I think you do that.
I think she just kind of leans over and daintily places one circling finger on her shoulder. Just gives her a bit of a zap.
You see the electricity run through the body and it arches up for a bit, just for a moment before collapsing back down. And there's a moment where she goes, and just and takes a deep gasping breath as she wakes up, which is immediately followed by a number of groans and cries as she feels all of these different wounds across her body.
I think Athena lightly slaps her on the cheek once and twice and says, "Oh, good morning, sleepyhead. How was your nap?"
So you do that, you slap her awake, and I think up to this point her eyes have been closed, and she grits her teeth and opens her eyes staring up at you, and...
I think she looks pleased as punch, looking down at her with her arms crossed a little bit, and maybe like, what am I doing here? Like, I got a finger on a cheekbone and a thumb on my chin, just
Sure.
looking down.
And she looks up at you and sees you standing there very nonchalantly, and then looks over and sees Reitz and Rasmus.
I imagine they're behind her, like, either shoulder. Like angry parents.
Yeah. And she says, "Shit." Thank you for listening to this episode of Neon Heat. Savage Worlds is owned by the Pinnacle Entertainment Group, and you can find them and their products online at peginc.com. You can find our website at rpgforyouandme.com, where we update weekly with new episodes, character art, and bios. Neon Heat features the music of the very talented Crockett, who you can find at crockett.bandcamp.com and on Twitter at Crockett80s. We're on Twitter at rpgforyouandme, and Allie is at UCTheHat, where she posts art from the show. Allie also runs a side campaign for me that's available to our Patreon members, and you can find us there at patreon.com/rpgforyouandme. Any support means the world to us, and it makes it easier to make a quality episode every week for you. If you like the show, the best way to support us is to leave a 5-star rating and review, but even more importantly, tell a friend about us. If you're looking for more Savage Worlds content, please check out Sounds Like Crows. It's an actual play Deadlands Reloaded podcast about 5 brothers on a quest for revenge in the supernatural Wild West. The cast is outstanding, and the audio and editing quality is cinematic and top-notch. The game marshal, Caleb Sunstead, is extremely talented and dedicated. With all that out of the way, thank you again for listening. We know there are a lot of podcasts out there, so it means the world that you spent a little bit of your day with us. See you next week.